Oh shit! How fucked up! There's a hand still out.
I've been seeing stars and shit.
So funny. What was you thinking?
You are now listening to the Stoned Conservatives podcast.
Oh fuck no!
Hey, everybody.
Don't scream at me.
Sorry, Alan. I didn't mean
You're
to scream
harshing
at
my
you.
mellow. I've been so calm today. You're harshing it.
How are y'all doing? Well, I had to scream at you
I've been
because...
so relaxed today, and you just fucked it up.
Yeah, okay, well, I just screamed at you
Most relaxing I've ever been.
because this is the episode 13 of Some Conservatives, and episode 12 did really, really good, and I'm screaming at you because you should have been there, bro. You should have been there because that was our most viewed episode, even combined, of all of them that we've done.
Yeah, I had new family in town, so obligations were had there.
Yeah, well,
Unfortunately, for the sake of ratings,
Well,
I
yeah.
would have liked to have been a part of that.
your unexcused absence is totally accepted.
Okay, that's good to know. At least I'm not on thin ice.
Thin Ice, that's a great one.
Yeah, John's on thin ice on potential problems after last week's episode, but
Yeah, if you guys happen to be listening to this, you got to go check out Potential Problems podcast. Alan and John are the co-hosts of it.
the
And-
co-hosts.
The co-hosts. The co-hosts. The hoes. The co-hoes of it. And, yeah, you guys got to go check that out. Potential Problems podcast. And they're great. And they go live on Saturdays.
Well, this
here.
is a disappointing follow-up to last week's episode already.
Hey, well, the reason why is because you guys are going to do a show, and then we'll have to talk to them, but maybe even have the same guests as this show, the New Mexico 420 Fest people in for that
Kenneth
show.
and Melissa.
Yeah, for like,
Yeah.
for a little segment.
Yeah, they're going to be on the beginning of the show.
Nice. So, yeah, we're really, really looking forward to that, and it's going to be a good show. So, please, people, check out VoiceBox Studios, and that's where they'll be doing their show at, and that's my studio, too. So, check that out if you're local here. You want to do a podcast just like this one. And it does work. I mean, I've gotten over 1,000 views, and that's probably locally. So, I would say that's better than the radio. Cough, cough.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You got lucky with one episode, and you're chalking it up to being better than a different format.
Oh, yeah. Well, you never know. You never know. Because
People just have to go in their car to hear radio. People have to actually search this.
Well, right now, I don't know if you're aware, bro, but we have 100 likes and follows right now.
100.
Yeah. So how does that make you feel, bro? Now, on top of Potential
Well,
Problems
that's on the
podcast-
Facebook page. That's on the Facebook page.
Yeah.
That's not the podcast itself. Like, if the YouTube channel had 100 subscribers, that's something too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
You got
looking
the
for-
party. Where's the party horn? Yeah! 100! Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, shortest party horn ever.
Yeah, I like it a lot. It's my favorite.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, it's really good.
it's got a
So-
good response to it.
So, I know you know, but people, if you're listening, you got to go check out the 420 Fest here in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Not here, we're in Albuquerque. But, yeah, they can pretend we're here right now. At the NM420 Fest. And it'll be from, obviously, 420 to 420 first. See what I did there?
422 to 420.
Yeah. 420 to 421st.
420 to 420.
Yeah, I say it clearly.
422 to 420 and 421.
420 to 421. See what I
Yeah.
did there?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's always 420 through that whole week.
Even at 440.
430 almost.
It's like the late version.
Yeah. So, Alan, we want your opinion definitely, because I
3
know-
inches is too deep.
Where are you at with the legalization? Do you want it medically only, full-on legalization, no legalization, decriminalization, or some type of just law to get rid of it? And you don't really give a fuck what happens after that.
Personally, I would like it more if it were illegal. But socially, yeah, it would be a good thing for society if it was legal.
Yeah.
People need to stop being in prison for it. At the very minimum, decriminalize it and maybe take away such easy access to medical.
Yeah.
But this is all my personal opinion. It's not going to be very popular.
So wait, you don't like it? Easy access to medical?
Well, easy access for medical, sure, but like, under, I guess, it doesn't matter.
No, you just don't care.
Well, yeah, I don't really care. I guess, yeah, the asking of my opinion forced me to create one. but yeah, I would say.
Well, I could kind of agree with you a little bit on that. I can give you a reason why.
It shouldn't be that easy for people who definitely don't have certain conditions to get a card for the conditions they're claiming to get. But at the same time, it shouldn't be illegal for people to buy it on the street.
Okay, that's fair enough. Yeah.
So, if people could stop getting arrested for it, that would be cool.
Yeah. So, what about? Are you in favor of lowering the charges? Maybe.
We can get rid of them.
Just get rid of them.
Get rid of them.
So no more arresting people.
Yeah, unless you're selling low quality bunk shit, then you got to be thrown in jail.
Yeah. Well,
in weed jail where they teach you to sell better shit.
In weed jail. That sounds kind of fun.
No, it's not. It's not fun. It's just a jail made out of old hemp stalks that are all woven together. It's not really that comfortable. There's a lot of dead bugs.
You just sit there and scrape off a bed, a leg, or a prison little bar right there, and you can smoke it. That sounds pretty good?
Sure.
Yeah.
If you want to do that, I don't recommend it.
So,
I recommend doing your time in weed jail.
So you don't want to get your card?
No, not really.
No.
No. I wouldn't mind, if people were allowed to grow it if they wanted to.
Is it because you have a firm belief of the Second Amendment?
No, not necessarily.
Yeah, I think so.
No, it's just more so that why I don't want to be fucking tracked.
Okay.
I don't want to have any, which is stupid because I'm talking about it on a public forum. But I don't want to have my name written down on any paperwork that says this person is now allowed to do this thing, just because it's like, I'd rather just tell myself I'm allowed to do it.
Now, have you ever gotten in trouble with weed in the past?
Oh yeah, in high school, yeah. This one kid, it was 9th grade for me. He was probably in 10th grade. He wanted me to get him some weed, so I got him. I hooked him up with one of the dealers in school, and he sold him like an ounce of swag in the bathroom. But it was like in little quarter bags, so quarter ounce at a time.
And for northern viewers, that's
it's low quality dirt weed from Mexico.
Yeah,
at the time it was like $500 or $600 a pound, like wow. Super cheap. Super fucking cheap. Yeah. So an ounce only costs you like 50, maybe $40.
20 from a good friend of yours.
yeah, just depending. It was really usually a half ounce was like 50.
Yeah, so you would get on the streets. You don't want to get.
But this kid, he got it in the bathroom from this dude that I knew. And like every time that they would do one of these deals, or I would do one of those deals and pick up from him, the bathroom would always smell like weed right after that.
Okay.
It's kind of like, okay, well, that's not the safest thing to do. But it was near the end of the year, and I had just taken a drug test to become a lifeguard for that year. And so this kid, he has the weed, he takes it home, and he comes back, and he rolled it all into joints, and he brought them all with him to school and kept them in an Altoids tin. And then he thought it would be cool to try to smoke one at lunch over by the portables. And like the portable classrooms detached from the building, and we were doing that, and then this guy from I think it was the auto shop teacher, started walking by with this like chicken pot pie, and he's like they poked around the corner and saw us, and this dude panicked and put it out and threw the Altoids tin under the portable and all that shit, which is like, that's a stupid thing to do because that's the first place they're going to look. Just toss it over the fence into that apartment parking lot that's right behind us. Oh, man. It really was a difference of just frisbeeing the Altoids tin to get it off the property so we wouldn't have gotten caught.
Yeah.
But, so they took us in after that, and there was school police, there was regular police. They searched us.
Oh man.
I had a burrito in my backpack that I was super excited to eat, and I started going for it. And they're like, hey, don't go for your backpack. And I'm like, what? I'm just getting a burrito. They're like, but there could have been a weapon or something in there that we couldn't have seen. I was like, but you guys already searched me. Like, they had already searched me at that point. They knew there was just a burrito and some chocolate milk in there.
They're like, that's contraband.
And I was like, no, I have the munchies. I'm going to eat this. And then, so while they were, telling us how fucked we were, this kid tried saying, oh, yeah, I've been trying to look for help or whatever. And because he said that, they put us into weed counsel or like drug counseling in school. And then we had to go to one at a juvie place just to go take the class.
Did you have to do
There's two different classes.
I ended up doing something very similar, dude.
But yeah, after that, it was just like a quick suspension.
Okay.
And then those 2 drug classes, and I was good.
How many days did you get suspended for?
It was like 4 or 5.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, my mom was real pissed, especially because I had just done the lifeguard drug test thing, and she's like, ugh, this is worst timing. I was like, how is it the worst timing? I just did the test.
Oh, man. Yeah, I did the same thing, man. Like, I didn't try to throw my stuff. I was out smoking.
I did, and it was his stuff. I just helped him get it the day before. I was just caught with him smoking it.
Yeah.
And he claimed it. I mean, he did the right thing and said it was his. So.
And even then, you still got that much.
Yeah.
Well, see, I did. Like I said, I did
you don't bring all your fucking weed to school with you after you buy all that weed the day before. You don't bring it back, that entire amount back with you. You bring a super small amount that you smoke off the campus, stash a little joint or something, come back at lunch.
Yeah,
you don't do it on campus.
That way when you're friends and you got moochers, you can be like, look, we smoked it all.
Yeah,
that's all I got.
Yeah, that's it.
And
you guys want to pitch?
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yeah, and I did the same shit, man. I just got caught with it. I was smoking on the bleachers with my friend. And right around the corner, right when I'm taking a hit, man, the principal, like a brand new assistant principal, came around the corner. He's like, all right, gentlemen, give me the marijuana or whatever. And I was like, fuck. So I just gave it to him. And we went in the office. And long story short, I got 3-day suspension, parent and drug counseling. And my friend basically just got chewed at by his mom. Because they called her and he got sent home.
I basically only got chewed out by my parents. Like, they didn't really even care all that much. They didn't do anything to me. At that point, they knew grounding did nothing to me because I didn't really go and do anything anyways. So they just stopped trying at that point.
Yeah, then the next day I'm like...
That's when I stopped getting in trouble for things, actually. They just accepted that I was a little fucking stoner.
Well, I just kept getting more and more in trouble just because I got caught smoking weed.
Yeah, no, they gave up.
Well, speaking of suspension, this might be a good little segue here. Ohio student was suspended for refusing to leave during the gun control walkout recently. What do you think about that? I mean, we've gotten suspended just smoking pot, and now they're going as far as telling kids.
Yeah, but that's not the same thing.
So you think? Well, what do you think? Like this is obviously innocent, right? I mean, they're protesting. They're sharing their point of view in the First Amendment. Maybe they don't want to go on the walkout. Maybe they just want to learn and be educated.
Was it a thing where they were only allowed to walk out if they were going to express one opinion?
Well, I can read it here. It says, a high school student in Hilliard, Ohio, didn't want to pick sides in the contentious gun debate surrounding Wednesday's national walkout last Wednesday. So he stayed in class instead of joining the largely anti-gun protest or an alternative study hall. Hilliard Davidson High School senior Jacob Shoemaker was then reportedly slapped with a suspension. I wonder what his family did in his ancient times. Like, what, a shoemaker, so suspicious. The student
they baked bread.
Yeah, that is. That would be kind of odd. Like nowadays, like it's like you're shoemaker, but you're a doctor or something. The student argued that divisive politics has no place in America's schools, and he
fucking right
to take side in the debate, according to the Associated Press.
So he got suspended at school because he didn't want to pick a side?
Yeah, essentially, and he
no, fuck them. You know, fuck the school, because that's what those two bitches on Potential Problems tried, shaming me for fucking not wanting to participate in voting. Like, they're trying to say, oh, yeah, you don't vote and all that
Yeah.
kind of shit. It's like, no, fuck you. Don't tell me how important you think it is that I need to vote.
Yeah.
I don't want to sit here and disagree over some bullshit ideal with you. I would rather just sit here and talk to you and have a pleasant interaction.
Yeah.
Let's not bring politics into it.
And that's another thing too, guys.
And apparently that's not allowed, and the kid's getting suspended for it. Good. Fuck. I'm glad that it became a story, because it's really stupid to have a school say that, that a kid has to pick a side. It's like, no, you don't.
And I get it that maybe like you have to.
You don't have to be politically affiliated.
You gotta.
You don't have to be forced into it by a fucking school or administration or your teachers. They can try to encourage it as much as they want, but you can also tell them that, guess what? I just don't see the point.
Yeah. And like what I was trying to jump in there is basically saying you can't, I mean, even if you didn't want to vote, like you can't just be bashing people that, like that's their choice in this country. You can't tell someone like,
Yeah,
hey,
if you
go
want
out
to
and
vote, that's cool. If you don't, that's fucking cool
that's
too.
fine. Yeah, it doesn't have to be a thing.
But people who do vote shouldn't say that your opinion on things isn't valid. But it's like, okay, that's right, but I'm not going to really have much of an opinion other than things that are valid, like, say, for instance, taxes I pay.
Yeah.
Like, I have an opinion on that, but just because I vote, I don't have an opinion because of voting on certain things about taxes. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I would say to you, it is a privilege to vote in this country, though. I mean, you got to take pride in it.
Sure, I've done it. That doesn't make me think that I also want to be a part of it and think that my opinion's going to matter in a fucking presidential race, because it doesn't.
Well,
they don't go on popular vote. Popular vote is just to gauge the public.
Well, it goes a popular vote enough to where it brings enough voting into the House of Representatives or whatever.
Yeah, but it's not. It doesn't really matter.
Well, a little bit, yes and no, but the
popular vote is never really going to sway an election.
Right, and just to stay on point here is that this kid has a right to choose whether if he wants to go walking or on a gun debate walk, like a walkout. Like, no one has to walk out. Like, maybe his parents told him, "Hey, don't do that." Like, or maybe he just doesn't want to do it. These kids are smart enough nowadays to know the difference. And it said right here, student refused to follow instructions after being warned repeatedly by school administrators. The letter said, student not permitted on school property. So it's like they trespassed him, essentially.
Because you didn't want to pick a side politically, now you can't come to school. How does that make sense?
Yeah, and
they're gonna stop him from participating in education just because he didn't want to pick a political stance because of a popular debate going on.
The school's angle is, well, you can't be in the school if it's unattended.
That's true. That's true, but you can't. So wait, was he only suspended for that day? Because if so, then I completely take back my thing. Because he just got an afternoon off.
Like, I don't see if he was suspended for that day. I can try.
Yeah, if they're gonna write a whole article about him getting suspended, at least list how long the suspension lasts.
It looks like just one day after, and
so fuck it. It doesn't matter. He got a free day off.
Well, what about these kids going around just recently here?
You sounded 60 when you said that. There's kids here going around.
Chicago students trashed a Walmart during the same walkout that Wednesday. Not the same school or anything, but this completely in a different state here. Chicago police are trying to identify 60 students from Simeon Career Academy who went on an extremely damaging spree while they were supposed to be protesting guns Wednesday. More shockingly, several Walmart employees has reported that they also heard gunshots outside the rampage, and some of the students.
Well, that's just Chicago.
Smoke bombs. Well, I think we're seeing a little double entendre here. It's.
I don't think that's what that means.
All right. Well, yeah. Well, they're a double-edged sword, maybe.
No.
What should I say?
Come on, try getting it out.
Well, it's your words. I'm not sure what you were trying to go for there.
Well, they're going out and trying to protest guns, and it's killing people. Meanwhile, they're going around shooting in the air their guns and shit. Like this.
Yeah, but the people that are protesting that aren't the ones that are doing that. Those guns that are getting shot off are like gang members doing drive-bys and shit.
I found the word.
There you go.
Hypocritical.
Contradictory is the word you were looking for.
Yeah, that was impressive. So I don't know. What do you think? That's just kids being kids in high school? Like, we're not too far from being like compared to like some of these people, how old they are, probably listening to.
Fucking ancient.
We're pretty much close to being high school students still. Like,
No, we're almost 10 years removed. We're 8 years removed from high school.
Well, maybe 7.
We're as far out as second graders are from high school.
Yeah, well, that's not. Well, what I'm trying to say is like,
That's kind of out there.
Oh, there could be someone listening at like 50 or 60, bro. Like,
Nah,
like, if you look at it on like a graph,
it's impossible.
Yeah, well, we do have 100 likes and followers now.
Yeah,
Yeah, we are definitely winning. I wish I could just hit.
and by a demographic, just a general given statistic of society, it's probably 77% males. And the likes are coming from mostly Heather Baca, Amy King, Chris Crandall.
Hey, I've been getting a lot of new ones.
I know. Well, yeah, those are all new likes in the last couple of weeks, and that's pretty cool too.
Yeah, and out of nowhere, man, like we just.
Hey, check out this chick with bread.
Oh my God, guys! You just showed me a picture of this lady covered in bread, but she was partially nude. But thank goodness,
The bread's covering the important stuff.
Yeah, and I can't see that, dude. I'm loyal, man. We know we talk about.
You're not the
this.
one who looked it up. I showed it to you.
Yeah, so thank God. I'm not looking up fucking bread porn, guys. So, there's one more gun thing I wanted to jump into.
Is it a barrel?
This principal escorted. We could play the video, but well, fuck the video.
What about the teacher who shot the student?
The video is like so.
You're just gonna act like that one didn't happen?
I don't know what you're talking
Are you just
about.
gonna act like that didn't happen?
You are fake news.
No, that's not fake news. The principal only came in to apologize and didn't even check to see if anyone was hurt.
Everything he just said is absolutely false.
Not true. No, you're fake news. Anyone gonna believe Billery?
Billery?
Killery?
Strokery.
Strokery?
She's called Killery in Russia because the H and the K. It's like the same thing.
Okay, and then
like
she's
a-
called Rillery in Brazil because of the H and the R.
Well, that's weird.
And they call Joe Rogan Joe Hogan.
Joe Hogan.
Yeah.
Have you been watching the new Joe Rogan episodes?
Off and on.
Guys, that's a good podcast too, and he's something kind of what I admire with this show. He's not like a conservative, but
He just gets a lot of views.
Yeah, he's by right wing people. What do you think about how people call him an alt-rightist or whatever? Isn't that kind of ridiculous?
He's got things on both sides. That's allowed.
Well, what I'm guessing is
He's allowed to have shifting opinions. I think it's stupid that people are calling John McCain a traitor.
Well, he did.
It's like just because he shifted his view that you don't necessarily agree with anymore, he's a traitor.
Well, he's super anti-Trump, and then
That doesn't mean anything.
he's a traitor on both
People
sides.
aren't a traitor just because they have a different opinion.
He traded out his troops when he got
That doesn't
captured.
matter. It doesn't matter anymore. That was like so fucking long ago.
Bullshit!
Yeah.
I like my soundboard.
How about pedophile 6ix9ine
Oh yeah, that guy, that stupid rapper, that 6ix9ine guy
with the 69s tattooed all over him and his stupid rainbow hair, and he looks like a 17-year-old ugly girl.
Dude, he just bought like this $300,000 like chain, and it like
Well, that's stupid considering he has court fees.
and it's all gold shit, and then like when he spins the stupid 69 logo all written in Gothic font, it spins like a spinner on his necklace, all made out of gold and diamond.
That's kind of dumb.
What do you think about that? Like, would you wear one if it had potential problems, PP upside down? So you
No.
spin it and it'd all be P all the time
No.
in your face. What?
Why would I?
So overall, I think this gun walkout. I support it 100%. You got to do what you got to do, kids. But
Some janitor was stealing money from the kids' backpacks while that was happening. Maybe that's why they suspended that kid. They're like, no, nobody can be in the school because we're letting our janitor skim a little off the top and give us a percentage.
just grabbing iPads and fucking
Just cash
switches.
like lunch money and shit.
Oh, God.
Stealing the good bags of mini Takis.
Where'd my weed go, dude?
I want some Takis.
Takis. It's a
That sounds so good.
rolled Dorito.
No,
Essentially.
I'm gonna go home and eat some leftover chicken stir fry with no rice.
I think you got the munchies.
A little bit. I do.
Because you'd be in jail.
Yeah, I would. I
You
would.
would?
Yeah, I'm still a criminal.
So you can't be. You gotta get your medical or something.
I'm not gonna do that. I don't support that.
Why? So why don't
I
you
have
say-
chronic pain. I probably have some things that'll qualify me for PTSD, but no thanks.
Well,
I don't want to pay $310 to do something I'm already doing.
Dude, it's only like 100.
I'm not gonna pay them a yearly fee and have to renew things to do things I'm already doing.
Pay $100 and it's like $60 renewal fee.
No,
Why not?
because everything ends up. Everything the last few months is $60 here, $80 there. I don't want to have to pay a fucking another $90, $100 just to fucking say that I can do something legally.
Well,
Because I wouldn't even have a place to consume it legally. You can't consume it legally in an apartment because they don't allow for that there.
it's just,
You have to be on your own property that you
It'll
own.
be discrimination.
You're still a criminal.
No.
You
I'm
don't
not.
own your property that you're smoking on.
No, I can smoke there.
No, well,
I technically pay rent. It's my establishment. And therefore,
no, that's not how that works.
You are fake.
You're fake news.
Do you know how much I want to puke on both of you?
I'd watch that.
All right, so just to jump in here,
Was that from the You're a Prostitute clip? Was that like the fat chick in the restaurant, like freaking out at the couple who was kissing? You're a prostitute.
I can't believe you caught that.
Yeah, because that's a ridiculous video.
Guys, it's the video where they're like in.
Look it up real
line.
quick.
Well, I can't play it. It's audio podcast.
I
bro.
know. Well, it's an audio video.
Well, but I don't even know how to look
Look
it
up You're a Prostitute. Yeah, just You're a Prostitute, and you should see the fat white bitch in the restaurant. She's like, you're kissing that slut in front of my food.
Oh wow, that popped right up.
I told you. You're kissing that slut in front of my food as if her food's gonna get offended.
Go ahead. Hey, go find.
And they're just making out.
They're a couple.
Yeah, they're
there's
just-
nothing prostitution about it.
They were just kissing, maybe grabbing some ass.
And that lady
fucking
tried
line.
getting her money back for her food that she just paid for.
And this social justice
because
warrior cunt.
of an interaction that she had with another customer. It had nothing to do with the establishment.
Well, she later.
She didn't want people kissing in front of her food because her food is very impressionable.
Well, later she dropped like a anti-Asian bomb or something.
You're stalking me. Do you know? I'm gonna press sexual harassment and stalking charges on you.
I mean,
Please.
clearly they groped her.
Yeah. Oh well, she's so disgusted. She's gonna file harassment charges from that site.
Sexual harassment charges.
I'm American. I'm from California.
Yeah, that's right. Ah, fuck, she went there.
Because she was talking to this Asian guy, and she's like, "I'm American," and it just
Yeah,
shows that.
that's right. She said something like, "Go back to where you came from," or
Yeah.
some shit like that. Yeah,
And
you can't do that.
as she's being
You can't
this
do that.
social justice warrior, like, oh, I don't like
But she actually does porn.
that lady yelling.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
That lady.
Yeah,
yelling.
that all came out as a part of this too. Is that she
No way.
brought herself into the spotlight by complaining about these people, and then people were like, "Hey, wait a minute, aren't you on a live camming site?"
Oh, so people like.
No.
It was like she was like self-deprecating them or whatever.
Yeah,
like
she
just, like,
thought she was better than them because she does it in a very closed-off place that doesn't even require age verification
She was waiting to be yelling at someone basically about herself
for
"You're a
kissing her boyfriend in
whore."
public. You're a prostitute.
Yeah, she's a prostitute. Technically, you're a webcam prostitute.
Yeah.
Are you into that thing, Alan?
No.
Me neither. No comment. Disgusting. I don't know.
I wouldn't say it's disgusting. I'm just not into watching girls on live cams sit there and talk to the commenters because it's kind of awkward. It's very awkward when they're just like, "Fix Jackson, I'm wearing the new panties you sent. Like, what the fuck? These people are sending them gifts? This is creepy. It's not okay.
What if they were...
You seem like you have a different opinion that you're being silent about.
I saw this video today. These two guys, I wish I could pull it up.
Gross.
No, come on, it wasn't a porno. It was these two dudes decided to eat an edible like every time someone I think like donated or something. So like they just kept like it was insane, dude. They just kept getting donations and they ate like between each other like probably like maybe 500 milligrams of edibles, and they had this 1600 milligram edible, dude. Could you imagine doing?
That sounds like fun.
Could you imagine doing a 1600 milligram edible, and then people are paying you to do it?
Ugh.
Like they're like, you have to.
But like to see that payoff, you would have to be live streaming for like hours.
Oh,
like you can't just eat it and be like, okay, thanks for the donation, I'm signing off, and then like have the effects hit you off camera.
dude, they were still doing it. Like they started off with just a little bit, and then eventually it got like a lot. Like it was so bad, dude. Yeah, I'd have to sign off for this shit to get to it. But yeah, these guys just kept eating edibles, and they were like live streamers. I was like, what the fuck, man? Like, yeah. So, let's see here. Just to stay on topic, I'm trying to, guys. I like to try to segue, and then I like to talk about other random shit because it's kind of fun, you know. And especially, that's where you can do it at the. I'm gonna keep plugging until it's over. NM420
Still a month away.
.com. Go get your tickets. It's only $10 for both days.
No, isn't it $10 each day?
No, I asked recently. It was both days.
$10 for both days.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
So I mean, that's a hell of a deal, there, guys. And go there and.
And I've been working on my new jokes this week, and they've been working.
Oh yeah, how's that going?
It's good.
And people who don't know, Alan.
I'm gonna do some comedy up there.
Yeah, he does comedy.
I got about 9 minutes.
Okay.
9 minutes of stuff.
Have you like tried to test it out?
Yeah. Well, I mean. Yeah, the new stuff anyways. I know the old stuff works. But I don't have like any weed jokes.
Maybe.
So I don't know. I'm not good with coming up with the style of jokes that I come up with about weed stuff. It just doesn't really work.
You know, this one time you told me a crazy story. You guys were out smoking in the bosque or whatever in the deserts.
Yeah, but we were also drunk.
And you had to run from the cops.
Yeah,
whatever.
it's more of a crazy story, but it's not a story that I have structure to. It's not a story that I have punchlines for.
Well, you could do something like that. I mean, you can just kind of wrap it
around.
And
Yeah, but
make people laugh because of it and shit.
I don't know, maybe I can do a little something with it and try to use it as a last resort. Well, I would never use it as like a last thing because you want to end on something you know is going to work.
Yeah.
So that would probably be something where I would, if it's near the end of a thing, I could probably do that story and then just end it with a joke that I have. Well, not like a joke, but like a regular joke.
So are these comedians there at the NM420 Fest in Santa Fe, can they do explicit material? Can they cuss?
I hope so. Are you asking if they're able to?
Yeah. Or
the ones that I know, yeah, they're able to.
Or is it gonna be a clean show?
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good luck.
I'm not gonna ask about that. I'm just gonna let it happen and see what happens. If because I don't see why many people would bring their kids to this event, but then again, they might.
Well, I mean, if it's CBD stuff, you might expect some pets. There's people going as far as they're starting to, jeez, what the hell, man? My phone's like picked that up. I guess saying pets, like my phone fucking. Anyways, they've been doing like CBD oil, like for pets. Have you heard about that?
Yeah, it's not exactly legal.
Yeah, well, people have been talking about that, and I don't know. I was kind of first like, what the fuck? Maybe we shouldn't be doing that to dogs.
But there's no one that's going to test it on dogs, so unfortunately that's one of those things where people are going to have to test it on their dogs illegally.
Well, they're doing opiates on dogs in this one way.
Well, yeah.
and we got to stop the opioid.
But there is an understanding that dogs' brains and humans' brains don't accept the same substances always the same way. So,
Yeah, of course, like a cat with catnip and us with catnip or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we don't know, but we should be educated, obviously, and make sure we know what we're doing, research this shit. I find it to point out that, I mean, there's dogs, like I said earlier, on opiates and shit like that for pain and shit. So this might be a good alternative if it's applicable or whatever. Fancy.
Applicable.
I fucked it up.
You were thinking amicable, which is a thing that has to do with good terms. Yeah.
Yeah.
What time are we at?
Yeah, we could wrap up here in a second.
Oh, cool.
So a recent report found that Big Pharma stands to lose as much as $4 billion per year if medical marijuana became legal in all 50 states. So what do you think about that? And already they're losing $666 million annually.
I think they're going to let that happen.
Marijuana is now offered as an alternative.
I think they're going to let that happen too easily. They're going to try to strengthen their grip.
So yeah, that's why we got to watch out for these politicians that are still really tied up with these big pharma and all that shit. People say Trump is, but I know he isn't. I have feelings that maybe even Sessions.
Why do you say you know he isn't? What?
Dude, he's not even like a politician or anything.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that he wouldn't have his own sort of take on it. Like
Well,
him,
I already know that Trump.
I know
just
from
wants
our
to get it.
interactions, him personally, he told me that
Trump?
Trump, he told me that he never really drinks. He doesn't drink because his brother had a drinking issue, so that also probably goes for pills and that kind of thing.
Tell him I said hi.
Yeah, well,
He's a little busy.
yeah, he's not big on chit chat lately. It's a lot of big concept stuff happening.
Yeah, it's mostly on Twitter.
Yeah,
Which I love. I love it. I fucking love it.
just get someone to proofread his shit.
No, we need to have unfiltered Trump directly talking to the American people the way a president should. It's new age, man. It's like we're in the future, dude. It's insane. We are in the future, bro. So they say it's a really small dip to the pharmaceutical industry, which is valued at $425 billion. So I mean,
because weed's not going to be able to replace everything they do.
$4 billion out of $400 billion is, it's really not that much. But I mean, it's doing some damage here. I mean, that's a slight decrease, like if it was looked at like stocks or something. So I mean, obviously the cannabis is working and it's doing its job. I also believe too. I mean, I believe that big pharma is all evil and shit. But there's people there that do need their medicine.
Yeah, there's plenty of stuff that there's used to. It's just they tend to overprescribe opiates and that kind of thing. That's more of a doctor issue than a big pharma issue. But the big pharma issue is that they try to tell doctors to sell things. So,
are you a vaccinator?
Yes, I get vaccines.
Yeah. Well, I had an uncle that died from the flu shot, and I don't get it.
That's fine. He's one of few people who probably ever will.
Yeah, and I'm not going to be anti-vaccine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look what I did to him.
But look at the InfoWars. Man, I got to look at the
There's
autism.
increased levels of arsenic in this vaccine.
Infowars.com, people. Maybe they'll end up sponsoring our show.
I doubt that.
Oh, that'd be great. I would love it. So we're pretty much, we could wrap up. Also, Sessions stated, we finally got a good little word from Mr. Sessions, and it's kind of a good word. He said that he will not take on small-time cannabis cases. So, I mean, from like drug busts of like, growing some pot plants or so, he doesn't give a shit. But if you're going like thousands and have like a fucking weed farm illegally, like factory,
That should be your fucking business.
and that's how it should be already in a way. Like, I mean, we gotta obey the laws, but we need to go and
No, we don't.
Well, we need to go on certain routes and go. No, we need to get rid of this law. We need to vote. You obviously don't, but no comment. You should at least.
I don't
vote.
mind voting on issues, but I'm not gonna fucking pick a side.
Are you gonna vote for the mayor election coming up, or the
We just
governor?
had one.
The governor.
No, I'm not gonna vote for governor.
You're not gonna vote for
I'm not gonna vote for the fucking
the
governor.
governor.
I'm not gonna find a candidate that I like. No, I'm not voting for governor.
Well, why not?
Because why would I?
Don't you want to tighten up the crime here? It's getting pretty bad.
I don't mind the crime.
You like it?
It keeps hipsters from moving here at higher rates.
Oh, okay. So
Get the fuck out of here. You want to move to Albuquerque? Don't. Please.
All right. Well, we could go ahead and wrap this up. I'm going to go ahead and plug. You can check out voiceboxstudios.com for if you want to rent a podcast just like this, guys. I think it's a good deal. What do you think?
Do it.
Do it. And if you're local, you could do other things too. Hi, Mark.
What the story, Mark?
I knew you were doing it. Fucking check out voiceboxstudios.com. We have all types of shit from recording, podcasting, all the way down to video and audio editing and shit. So that's insane. Act now. Get a free consultation. Alan, do you got a plug?
Poop the gloop.
That is not a good plug. You got a better one than that.
No, I got nothing.
Potential problems.
My YouTube channel is about to hit 300 subscribers. I'm 3 away.
And what's your
Alan Clark Films on YouTube. I need
All right.
3 more subscribers to hit 300. I'm 700 away to ad revenue.
All right,
Coming back.
So go to Alan Clark Films on YouTube. Potential Problems Podcast on Saturdays at 6. And I'll see you there too. Have a good one, guys.